Hey guys, welcome to the Random 5 channel. We have a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about Mavic 3 with Mark Fisher, and we're also got our special guest, Brian Singleton, where we're going to be discussing the new product line coming out by Hubsan, the Ace series. So we're all super excited about that, and I apologize about the feedback. I always do that, so hey, it's kind of part of the show, I guess. So without any further ado, let's jump in here and let's get Mark in here, man. Hey, Mark, good to see you, man.
Hey, Al,
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Yourself, Al?
I'm well, thanks. I mean, this weather's fabulous. How was it
Yeah.
up in New York?
Well, I'm in Rhode Island. Actually, I'm just about
That's true. That's
3 hours more north. But we basically have almost the same kind of weather. It may be just a couple of more degrees, warmer there. But when it's cold, it's cold. That's all there is to it, right? But we've been having some kind of mild weather. We're looking at the next couple of days being in the 50s, which is good
ooh, yes,
considering
yes,
considering
very good.
it's been like really below zero at times, and so when it's really cold out, like those days of 50 degrees feels like it's like 70. You know what I mean?
I know, I know,
We're
right?
flying weather.
So, obviously, one of the topics that we have on the agenda tonight was talking about the Mavic 3. I know you've had two of them, and I'll let you share with the audience some of the experiences you've had with the Mavic 3. I mean, we all love to hear what happened. And
Yeah. So, of course, I was excited about the Mavic 3 coming out. Actually, right in the beginning, I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm going to get it because I do have the Evo 2. And for a while, I always said, like, I don't care about the Mavic 3 because I got the Evo 2. And that was already doing everything that the Mavic 3 pretty much can do, except for the Micro Four Thirds. Then as the date came closer, and I was like, man, it sounded a little bit more better, every time the Micro Four Thirds. And, I was like, you know what? Every year I get the Mavic this, Mavic that, and I always get it. Let me get it. So I got excited about it, right? So I got it. And then, when DJI was saying that, all the intelligent flight modes are not going to come with it. So if anybody is out there and they think that like DJI was like, oh, it's not ready, but they did say that there wasn't gonna that those intelligent flight modes were not gonna come until January. But they did even better than that. So they did that firmware update in December, and we got all those uh, intelligent flight modes. Now I'm not a fan of intelligent flight modes. It's just because what I do and how I use drones. But they're great features, and don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I look forward to. But when I did receive it, I flew it a couple of times, and something wasn't really right with it. Where I don't think in the beginning I was getting that waiting on satellites thing. It was actually connected really quick. It was like one day I was flying in my backyard and it decided to take off, like just shoot away. I did get it back, but it was like a little funny. So I made a report of it, called DJI and said, and I said,
let me
let
interrupt you there. Yeah,
yeah,
when it flew away, did it do
it
anything?
it accelerated. So it wasn't drifting. It accelerated.
Like
So
somebody else was piloting
yeah,
it.
like somebody else was piloting it. Like I
Wow.
heard I heard the
It's,
motors like gear up and just like zoom, like and just took
holy
off.
crap.
Yeah, it was a little scary. I'm
You
like,
know what
oh,
we say in Latin America when you do this? That's when you're puckering and you're scared. I
sorry,
would have been puckering, you
probably.
know.
Am I back in? I can't hear now. I'm
Oh,
probably gonna have to come
you
back in. So when somebody calls me, it shuts
you're
my
in. I can
mic
see
off.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're live, looking good. Yeah, we can hear you. Um, so you're having issues. Uh, okay, so it looks like we're having some technical issues here, and we'll get right back to it. So let's wait on Mark to jump back in. In the meantime, I know we were looking at we were just talking about the hotels. And I'm going to bring Brian in. Let's see, and hope Mark jumps in. Hey, Brian, good
Hey,
to see you, man.
hey, what's going on,
And,
brother?
and here we are. Here we are,
Sorry
I'm
about
Mark.
back.
that,
You're
guys.
back. We did the musical chair. Sorry, man.
It's
Can
all
you hear
right.
me? Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is somebody calls my phone. Even if I block it, it cuts off my mic and I can't hear nothing. I don't know if you guys are able to hear me.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely
able to
fine.
hear you clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just couldn't hear. Like I don't know. It's iPhone, like, and I'm not complaining about the iPhone. I'm just saying that.
Hey, I just recently got one, and the migration from, you know, from
yeah.
Apple, from the Android to Apple was painful.
I hate,
Uh, di-
I
Yeah.
hate the Android. I hate those. I hate it. I
and
can't
see,
stand it.
I didn't want to go to the dark side, but I did. I was the only one in the family
It's
with an
better.
Android device.
I don't care what anybody says. It's better.
I agree. It's just
Okay.
easier to work with. I
Yes.
really don't like the idea that I can't put a SD card in it because
Yeah.
when you do all your screen captures, now
Yeah.
I have to. I don't. I used to just pull my SD
I
card
use
out.
these little things.
Oh yeah, with the
I have a
Yeah.
USB
little,
adapter.
Yep.
yeah. I use these for the lightning for that for the
Yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There's a 64 gigs. This one's
Yeah.
32. And then I got a 128 up here. This is what I use. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Get one.
That makes sense.
Especially if you're dealing with I got the Mac Mini, I got the MacBook Pro. As a matter of fact, I
Right.
went to go look at a 2021 MacBook Pro today, and then I got the iPad Mini, whatever for, and they all speak to each other. So
Right.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
thinking about getting that little mini, the M1 mini,
Oh, you'll
because
love it.
yeah. Okay, good.
You'll love it.
So, Mark, you were telling us a story about the Mavic 3, and I know that
Yeah.
you said that the Mavic 3 tried to take off on you and just
Right.
like took off.
Yep.
And he was scared. I would have been, very scared. I know most
So
of our audience would have been scared too.
I've been flying for a while. So and when I say a while, like 7 years. So, like the thing is, not to say that, oh, you know what, I've been flying so long that like you don't get that little bit of like jitters in your stomach, like, but I've learned to just kind of mellow out and say, all right, what's going on, let me stay focused and try to get this drone back, right? So then eventually it caught. I'm pulling the sticks back, and I get it back, and then I get it right down right again. So I call DJI. Then I say, oh, let me try some things. Let me do another IMU on it. Let me reload the firmware and all this and that. And then it was flying fine. I did a couple of jobs with it, and then next thing you know, um, I was in another location and it started acting funny again. And then another location, it started doing that drifting stuff. And so I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I called DJI and I said, no, I want a refund. And that's all. And so what happens when you call DJI, and this is a good tip for everybody, just yell a whole bunch and don't let them talk.
Yeah, you know what? I've had issues with them. I actually was having issues registering or activating my air units, the Cadix now, the Cadix stuff. And I tell you, man, I had to fight with them. And then finally said, nope, we can't help you because it's now a Cadix product. And I'm like, oh, great. Well, give me their phone number. And he goes, well, they don't have a phone number for customer support. And so I was like, what? You don't have a phone number for customer support? And as you can see right now, this is what I had to do was just figure it out myself because the only way to get support from them is through a Facebook group. So this build right here has been acting really weird. I mean, super weird, and it it's gonna. I'm just gonna pull out the flight controller and put a new one in it because I think it's a flight controller. So I was just getting ready to pull it out. You can see when I do my builds, I like to give a lot of room with the motors. So when you solder the motors, give it enough room so you can pull it out. So let me switch back to camera here. And please continue, Mark. I'm sorry to
Yeah, no,
interrupt.
no, that's okay. That's interesting because I am not anywhere near FPV, and I think it's amazing. But maybe someday, some year, I would say, some year. But anyways, it took a while for them to refund my money. It took about almost 3 weeks, I think it was, and then once they refunded my money, I end up just going to Best Buy and buy one. Um, and at that time, uh, I bought the Fly More package, which was about $3,000 or whatever. Plus, plus they wouldn't refund. Uh, oh no, they wouldn't switch over my DJI Care Refresh. So I was like,
You had to buy a new one.
I had to buy another one. So
Did they give you the credit? They would not refund you the $250.
Yeah, they refunded it, but I just said, why don't you just I want the DJI Care Refresh. Just let me give it, and then we can switch it over to the because I'm gonna buy another drone. I was not gonna not buy another drone. I was like, I'm gonna buy another one, but I'm gonna get it from Best Buy because it's easier to return if there's something going on with this thing, So
yeah, you could walk in and beat up somebody if you wanted to, right?
But I had to go through the whole thing of like, all right, getting the refresh again, whatever. So I went through everything, and this one flies pretty good now.
So no issues like before.
No issues like before. The only issue that I'm having, of course, is that most everybody's having, and it's funny because some of the people were like, "Oh, we don't have that GPS issue," but then now they're having it. So it takes a little time to get up in the air. So I've learned how to combat that.
So
I leave earlier.
You plan ahead.
Exactly.
Now, Mark, what about that thing I was seeing a couple people? I saw a couple people actually put it in a tree because they said it was kind of twitchy. When you first would take off, when it would be hovering there, if you just gave it a little bit of joystick movement, it would, go like that or whatever.
I noticed that in the first one.
Yeah.
I can't say I've noticed that in this one only because I don't fly with sensors anymore. I quit flying with sensors like years ago.
I turn all that off.
Yeah, I can't deal with it. I don't need. Listen. I can't walk into casinos and hear all those things going beep 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 because it just drives me nuts. And so hearing a beep or whatever.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I agree. The thing is, I think it's.
Oh, there you go. Come on back.
Come on back, Beck.
We got another phone call.
Again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me just try to unplug and then plug this in. So here we go again. Somebody's calling me again, and then I can't hear. So I guess I'll be back again, huh?
Okay.
It's working.
We hear you, but you can't hear us. Okay.
We're going to take a pause for the cause.
Pause for the cause. All right. Well, so while we wait here, and let's welcome everybody. So we have Chris from Sunrise Water Media. We have Jenna C. Hey, Jenna. We have Ray Kelly. Captain Kelly is here. How are you, my friend? And we have Lone Star UAV, which is Kai. Thanks for joining. And Maddie's Drone World's here. So we got a good crowd here. So if I missed anybody, my apologies. Matt Badwell's here also, and Johnny Drone Flyer's here. So yeah, guys. So are you guys going to get the Hubsan product? We haven't got to the Hubsans yet, so I'm going to add Mark to the stream. Mark, are you okay? Your ears okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, Mark, hurry up and finish telling us about the twitching.
Oh, so
we can call you Twitch.
Yeah, right. I got a good friend of mine. He's in Metal Militia. They're the motocross guys. His name's Twitch. He's a good friend of mine from San Diego. He does all those flips with the motocross.
Holy cow, man!
Yeah, they're sick dudes, man. Metal Militia.
One of those lunatics.
Yeah. So I think the twitching is within like the A pass, and then this once the sensors are on. So
Right.
you know that's something I'm glad you bring that up because I want to check that out and want to see if they within that firmware that they've just put out. Um, so I haven't really been hearing about that lately. Did you hear about that recently?
No, when it first came out, I saw that. I saw a couple of
Yeah.
YouTube videos where people crashed their Mavic 3s.
Well,
You know,
those are guys.
Yeah, Dennis Lovelady had
he left his in
crashes.
free, and
Well,
he had to go back, I think, the next day and get it. He didn't even get it
Yeah.
the same day. You
Well,
know,
I think what happened with Dennis Lovelady is he pushed return to home when the drone was like right in front of him, kind of like next to trees, and he just I think he was just discombobulated
Yeah.
at some point. You know how
Oh,
people get and you press it, and I think
Right.
he pressed it like he didn't mean to press it or whatever, and then that's what happened. But I did see somebody else fly it into a tree, and it was really twitchy. But that was one of the big YouTube guys that has like 3 million subscribers, and he's like, he's like, oh, this is real twitchy, and then he hits a tree. But I
Right.
think Ken Dono also.
he did
Yes,
too.
that's right.
I think he crashed his too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never crashed it. DJI thought I had crashed it in the beginning when I was calling him, and I'm like, no,
Right.
I never got crashed. I just don't want to have it to long enough for it to crash.
So did DJI think you wanted to return it because you crashed it? Is that what?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They wanted to get a little extra cash out of you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, yes. So that's not gonna happen. But
Yeah,
this,
no.
this Air Air 2S.
Yeah.
This is a great.
That's
drone.
a beast. Yeah,
This
that's a beast.
this thing's amazing.
It's a
lot of
keeper.
money. That
Like-
thing's expensive.
Oh, the Air 2S, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Air
yeah,
2S?
it's not cheap. Oh yeah.
But it rivals. I mean, you can't change your aperture like you do in the Mavic 2 Pro.
Right.
I do love that Mavic 2 Pro. The way
Yeah.
I just change my aperture and then set my exposure time, 2-3 seconds in the evening to get those Route 95 shots that are just gorgeous.
The reason I got into this was I needed a smaller form factor so that I was flying indoors, so I was doing a lot of like warehouse stuff with like forklifts, and I wanted to fly through forklifts and fly through different things like for the jobs I was on, and so this was small enough to like really get in between things and do things in warehouses because I was doing some stuff with Amazon and all that. You know what I mean?
So that dovetails me into another question here, Mark. You're talking about, do you have a production company or you just have a
yeah, it's a production company.
It's a production company, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you do this full time, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Like right now, I'm working on a commercial for the NCAA March Madness basketball tournament.
Oh, coming up in March, yes.
Yeah, we're going to be starting shooting on that soon, and so I'll do some local commercials and then some stuff where I'm sent out to different states to film. So so that brings me to that is that this here, a drone, for me is just another tool in my toolbox.
Right.
So it compares to any other camera. Like it compares to this camera, just a different aspect and different perspective.
Yeah, just a flying camera, right?
Yeah,
Mark,
absolutely.
you don't edit all your own footage, do you? You sometimes just send it out and let somebody else edit it, or
So it depends on who if I'm getting contracted out.
yeah.
There's a film company out of Chicago who I just go in, I shoot and log whatever, and then I give them the footage and they do all that. But when I'm doing it for my business, I do all the editing.
Oh, okay.
So I do all the production and whatever. Yeah. I'm even the director. I do all the casting.
The one-man show, man. I know Brian knows that too well too, like I do. One-man show, man.
I use my wife for the voiceovers. She's awesome with it. Yeah, so
we got some other folks joining here tonight, guys. We have Miko Ghost, the old Codger. thanks for coming by. I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by. Don't forget to hit that like button. As a matter of fact, I better hit my own like button. So if you're in the chat,
There you
hit
go.
that like button. Just some of those things that we have to remind people to do to keep the analytics going for the channel. But yeah, interesting conversation, Mark. Keep on going.
So yeah, so now we're having an issue with the GPS, right? And it's taken 5 to 10 minutes, and like I said, I leave a little early, but there's another way of doing it. I know people are kind of scared. They don't get enough satellites, and it doesn't mark its return to home point. But what I've been doing is once I get up to about 7 to 10 satellites, which happens pretty quick, maybe within a
You
minute
take
or
off.
two. I bring it up to about 20 feet, and then it gets the satellites even faster. I don't know if that really marks, in which I should probably check to see where it comes back to. But I don't know. So I don't. The reason I'm able to do those things and not worry about sensors and return home is because this bird doesn't go probably less than 800 feet away from me. Like I don't fly those far distance. I mile, no, quarter mile, maybe. But I if I have to take a shot of something else, I'm gonna drive to that location, and then I'm gonna frame, and then I'm gonna say how I'm gonna think about what shots I want to get. So it doesn't go that far from me where I need the return to home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all
I
the
got
time.
it.
But it's always it's always good to have the safe, to be safe. So I don't know if that really the return to home point, is it gonna land there if I'm still up here, and did it mark where I was taking off from, like, because it's not on the ground. But those are some things I need to check out. But I'm getting in the air faster now, and just until DJI takes care of it. And believe me when I tell you, I know a lot of people out there are like, is DJI going to be able to take care of this? Are they going to be able to take this? Has it ever not happened where DJI hasn't taken care of something? I don't.
Well, they in the FPV world that is the case, Mark. I've been after DJI to fix their wonky DVR recorder on their air unit. So the DJI, sorry about that, it doesn't work 80% of the time.
Is that on the FPV drone?
Yeah. On the
Oh.
air units, it won't record. So, like right here on this little DVR, come on, camera, you can do it. But my camera is just not going to do it. Oh well. Come on. No, it's not going to do it. It likes people. It doesn't like. It doesn't like objects. But it's right here. It's right there. Anyway, forget that. It's right there, and I don't know. But it's it's probably a segment of their market that is insignificant compared to the Mavics and the Minis and the Airs, because they're diversified so much now, Brian. What do you think, man? Do you think they're going to make an autonomous car soon that we all be able to buy from it? DJI?
Oh yeah, DJI is gonna.
I don't.
I think they're going to co-develop. Hey, DeMarco's in the house. Welcome, DeMarco.
I think they're just going to license out a lot of their technology.
Well, I mean, they definitely have some really good algorithms that is able to do that tracking with the camera, right? So, and not only that, it's just how smooth they're able to transition with the user interface. I think the user interface is probably the best in the market, in my opinion. But you guys have the Evo product line. Compare the Evo product line user interface to the DJI. How would you rank it, Brian?
I think the Evo. I think Evo Autel made a big mistake when they didn't make the Evo 2 have their own app. I thought that was a mistake. I thought they should have just, when they were coming out with the Evo 2, I thought they should have just made their own app, because when they brought the Evo 1 and you tried to use the Evo 1 with the new version of the app, it was kind of difficult to navigate the app at first. It was.
Yeah.
I think they should have just came up
Trash
with
and started over again. Got it.
Well, here was the deal. They basically just said, "You have an Evo 1, screw you. We don't have time for you no more." That's what these drone companies do, and which I think is a damn shame. I think it's horrible customer relations for them to do this. These are perfectly good products, and all these people spend thousands of dollars on it, and they come up with a new one, and they just abandon these products. I think it's terrible. I think it's a terrible business practice, to be honest with you.
Yeah, can I get some support?
That would be like somebody coming out and making okay, so the new Chevrolet, Dingleberry car, right? And then next year, what if car makers
you got to pick it.
Every year, a car maker would go, well, we're not supporting that car you bought last year. We can't get no more batteries, and we're not making the mufflers no more. What would people think about that?
Yeah, right? I know, right? You'd never buy the product ever again. I would never buy the product again.
If you bought a car and then a year later, we're not making parts for it no more, you're screwed. Believe me, there would be an uproar. But see, the drone community, they don't complain enough about it, so they don't do anything about it. Well, everybody got together and told DJI, hey, look, if you don't keep supporting this shit, we're not buying any of your new crap. Believe me, they would support it.
Oh, yeah. And we move on so fast into new technologies when we haven't even exhausted the technology that we have in our own hands.
Exactly.
Talking about technology, you see what Akirashi was saying here. Hang on, wait a second. Let me rewind my VHS tape.
I mean, that Autel Evo is still a really good drone. The first one.
Oh yeah, it is. It's great.
But Autel has completely abandoned the damn thing.
Abandoned it.
I know.
Can I get some support on my X Star?
Yeah. I got an X Star.
Yeah. I used to have one.
You can't find a
great drone. No, it's tough.
So, let's see. Is Jenna still in the house? Let's see. I think she is. I was going to show you something here, Jenna. Let me see. Yeah, she's still here. This is the build that she's going to be working on, the one that I showed you guys early. So I'm going to switch cameras and show you what it looked like. I know that she's going to start this build this weekend. So I'm just going to share this real quick, and then we'll get back on topic, guys. I promise. Famous last words. But I promise. I promise. If I can just get this app to work a little faster, it doesn't work that fast. So yeah, so there we are. I'm going to move the camera a little closer. This is a no-name frame, and they call it an F4, and it's a 4-inch, supposed to be a 4-inch frame, but you're going to have to use a 3.5-inch props for it to work. And this stack is okay. And I was considering running my Caddx cable underneath the flight controller, but I think I'm just going to run it on top, over the top. And, I really don't like this all-in-one flight controller that much. And I might use this. I got this brand new stack, little tiny stack from HGLRC, and I might just run this stack on it here. But this thing has been flying really weird. I did something wrong to the flight controller. The flight controller came in bad. It takes off and then crashes. I mean, all on its own. Kind of like Mark's
Mavic 3.
Yeah, your Mavic 3, yeah. So I'm going to switch my cameras back, and we'll continue with the conversation. And here we go.
Hey, what I know about FPV, you can sit on the end of a molecule.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't know anything about it.
I'll tell you, it's one of those very addictive hobbies because are you guys like Nintendo? Oh yeah, we got to talk
Oh,
about
look at
that.
that.
We got to talk about. Okay, all right.
Yeah, come on, Mark. Tell us what that is.
All right. Do
Look at
you
that.
do you really have a Polish surveillance drone, and that's the camera?
This is the
Holy!
camera. Look at how big it is. It's
And look how aerodynamic it is.
yeah, it's it goes back and forth. It tilts here in this way, and it's
And look at the
yeah,
size of those gimbal
That's,
motors,
that
man.
thing's bigger than Rhode Island.
hey, stop talking about little Ruby.
Hey, you live in a little state, man.
We're the biggest little state in the union.
You're right, man. And you guys get all the people who don't want to pay all the taxes. So
Yeah, I know.
is that right? They all
You
jump
get that
ship.
right. Yeah, so
Senator Perry's in the house. All right, cool. Yeah.
so this is the camera to a drone that basically, from what I've learned in the recent year that I've had it, maybe over a year that I've had it. I believe me when I tell you, I don't even know how I got this drone. It's just crazy how I got it, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But it's there's only 12 of them made in the whole world.
Wow. You
Drone
lucky
House.
dog.
Yeah, Drone House made them, and it doesn't fly, so don't get too excited right now. It don't fly. I'm sure it can fly if I were to get somebody that knows what how to get it to fly, because I won't. Like Al, probably if it was in your hands, you'd probably be able to get it fly. Anybody that flies FPV probably would be able to get it fly, but it is missing some things like a controller. I didn't get the controller with it, but I did get the camera. But I'm gonna have to move back to show you this drone. Obviously, with a camera like this, you're gonna know that the drone's gotta be really big. Put it this way, I could fit in the box that it came in.
Yeah. It'll be your coffee.
Not saying that I'm a big guy, so but here we go.
Holy cow.
It's all carbon fiber.
It's all carbon fiber.
Whoa, look at that. I got to enlarge you, man.
Here's the dampest.
Look at the size of that. Put that thing on your head like a helmet, man. Holy crap.
It's a
Look
big
at the size. I think you could put that on your head and it'll fly away with you, man.
It's a flying lobster. See
Wow.
Oh, man. Whoa.
It's got this antenna on the side, so I don't know, like, how that comes off. That must be to get. So this, I don't think there's anybody in the United States that has one. Because I did with Drone DJ, I did a live show with him, and we were asking anybody for information on it, and nobody came forward. And I gotta show you the props though, because the props amaze me every time I look at them. But so this was used, from whatever I found, this was used for the so the Poland Railroad used it for surveillance because the cargo was getting stolen. So they made 12 of these to do. I guess it flew for 50 minutes. I think it had a 17 times zoom on the camera.
How much? 17x?
17, I think, yeah. And it can fly also in any weather. So
Whoa.
all weather, yeah. But this is the prop. It's 18-inch prop.
It looked like a lawnmower blade.
Hey, Akirashi wants to know if it's under 250 grams.
Yeah.
The props, that is.
No, definitely not. It doesn't weigh a lot. There's no battery in it. So I'm sure it will weigh a lot more. But it doesn't weigh a lot without the battery. So it's really, because it's made of carbon fiber. It's really light actually.
Well, I think it's beautiful, man. I love
It
how
is.
aerodynamic it is. I mean, it's
You
a
know,
piece of art.
yeah. You know the thing is, I don't care if it really flies. I just love having it. You know what I mean? So
Good
it's like
conversation piece for
it's a good
sure.
conversation piece. But I would definitely want to get to fly one day. And I think it's open source, so I'm able to maybe put a transmitter in it and get a controller and whatever else that needs to be done with it. I got the props. I got the camera. Even if the camera didn't even if I couldn't mount the camera or somehow or whatever. I mean,
All right,
I just love to see it grow.
since we're doing show and tell, I got to show you guys. I just received something from Thailand, so I'm going to enlarge myself. There I am. I'm big. All right, Robbie Gray sent me this from Thailand, and I'm just now going to open it up. I just got the package right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It's a DHL package, and it made it here in record time of 5-6 days, Robbie. So it wasn't too bad.
How much does it cost to send something from Thailand?
Robbie, you want to comment in the? I think it's going to be like first. It's all about weight, Brian.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's what shipping's about. Right.
it's all about weight, and obviously they're always measuring everything. And remember, so I'll join the club or have it. I'll tell here, guys. So here it is. Is it going to focus? Yes, it finally focused. So let's take a look. Let's see what's inside. This is the Nano series, and I am going to go and move my microphone and probably switch cameras here so you guys can see it better. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras, and this is what it's going to look like here once I back it up a little bit and move it up. So I'm new to the Autel product line, guys, so you'll have to excuse me if I don't know it that well. But yeah, here's what it all looks like in the packaging, and it's a nice little bag. I like the material. It's got two little side pockets here on the side, and there's a product. It looks really nice. So everybody's always talking about the controller having a lot of weight to it, and it sure does. It definitely is heavy, heavy, heavy. And here's the drone itself. It's a nice little one. Brian, you would like this guy here, buddy, because it's very light and small. So there it is. Thank you, Robbie. Tribal Tech 360, guys. If you haven't already visited his channel, drop by and take a look. You probably like what you see.
So that's
all right.
That's not the Plus. That's just the regular.
That is, I think it's just the regular, Brian. So let me go.
It didn't say the Plus on the box.
It didn't say Plus on the box at all. So from the looks of it, so let's bring up the comparison because, and the dead giveaway is the size of the camera. So the camera is the small one. It's not the 1.5-inch sensor that we normally see. I was sitting here talking to a different camera here. I wish it would focus camera, but I guess we'll just pull it closer to me.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it's a smaller one. So let's take a look at the differences, guys. I know we were discussing that earlier, and I'll go ahead and share my screen, and we'll jump in the differences here of these products. So there's a big difference right here. This is the only difference I see, Brian, is this right there. It's a 1.28-inch CMOS sensor if you have the Plus, and it's a 1/2-inch sensor if you have the regular Nano. Right. Everything else is the same. I don't see it.
Basically.
Yeah. And what's interesting to me is that the 1-inch sensor, it's got to weigh a lot more because now you need, probably the gimbal motors are going to be okay. And so now we're seeing the 1/2-inch sensor here, guys, and you can see that. Am I sharing this? No.
No, that's not. No, there.
There it is. Okay. So let me back up again, and I got to move my screens because I'm sharing the wrong one. So there we go. So here's the differences, and I wasn't sharing before. Um, the Nano just has this half-inch sensor, and it's 48 megapixels. And here's the Nano Plus, big sensor, 1.1 and a quarter inch sensor. So pretty good. The other big thing, and Mark, you would relate to this, the aperture.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely 1.9 is what I'm showing
That's a
for the
little.
Plus.
That's weird. 1.9.
Yep, and then the aperture on the Nano is only a 2.8, which pretty much stands there for the half-inch sensors in the business. But everything else is the same. Flight time and
So
flight distances.
the 1.9 is gonna do much better in low light. Obviously, I don't know. I Evo Auto Robotics, all their cameras are really good in low light, no matter what.
And that's just a lot coming from you, Mark, having a production company. So you deal with this every day.
Yeah.
That's part of your business. But yeah, I mean, there's a half-inch sensor here, okay, and then where's the big sensor? They're going to show it.
No, I don't think
No, I don't think they're going to show that big sensor. Nope, they're not.
So are they saying that those things fly with the smart controller?
No.
The V2 probably, because when you scrolled, wasn't that a smart controller that they were
Let me
showing?
look. Tell me when to stop. Oh, here's the camera differences here, I guess.
No, that's just the camera. If you want to buy the Evo 2 6.
Oh, okay. The
6K,
Evo 2.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
I
6K
think their
camera.
cameras on the Evo 2s are swappable. Are they not, Mark?
Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah.
So you can switch
But
out the
look at that.
6K
So I have
and the
I have
8K.
the 8K. If I have the 8K, if I wanted to get one of them 6K, it would be
You can
$800.
and it's really easy to swap out.
Yeah.
Unlike,
Just two
remember?
screws.
Yeah, remember everybody was doing that with the Mavic 2? You could either get the Zoom or the Pro camera.
Right.
And it was kind of like that. I think you can still do that. Yeah, but I don't see a whole lot of differences between the cameras here on the Nano and the Nano Plus. Size-wise is what I'm
So
trying
see
to
that
say.
right there? You just scrolled by it. What is that right there? Isn't that the?
And
Oh,
that's
no,
just,
that's just a phone. That's just the app. It looked like a smart controller to me.
sorry,
I was seeing things. Hey, let me take off my glasses.
Okay.
Wishful thinking, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting, that's for sure. So anyway, I'll get to play with this, and hopefully everybody will, hopefully it'll perform well. But yeah, the controller seems to have pretty good mass to it for sure.
Yeah.
So what I've heard about the Auto Robotics now, they have the newer drones that are now. They have better flight characteristics. You know how like DJI, as soon as you get it out of the box, that thing's just like, you can whiz it around and whatever else. It's not like crazy. I know the Evo 2 Pro, it is a little jerky. Now the app, what I like about the Explorer app on the Auto Robotics is it's so in depth. Like you can go deep into that app, and there's so much to learn about that app. Missions, and then just in the flight characteristics, you can go into the controller and tweak it, like really tweak it. But
let me ask you this: talking about tweaking, I'm gonna move my microphone again. Can you change the gains on your gimbal motors? The gimbals. I know that you could do that on the Femi. You can change the gain on the gimbal.
You can do that on Auto.
On Auto too. Good, because Robbie was complaining that he was getting jello under certain conditions, flying into heavy wind, and it makes sense because then the motors have to fight harder to keep everything level.
And
You know,
Yeah.
the new Feeney Mini does the same thing.
so if we can adjust the gains to give it a little bit more ass behind it, I think we could do much better,
So
right?
I don't know what they're doing. I heard what was it from somebody the other night or the other day. I was on a live too. Somebody was saying something about Evo's taking some of their drones. They're gonna switch out the something on the camera. These geez, I can't remember what it is. Maybe I shouldn't even say.
Well, I mean,
because of that jello, they're trying to fix that, and they're supposed to be switching. I don't know how they're gonna do that. They'll,
well,
like,
maybe somebody.
send the drone back and.
Now,
Okay.
Mark, you said something about the Evo 2, the switchiness.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really jumpy.
But here's the thing: if you turn off the obstacle avoidance, that goes away.
I've turned that off.
Yeah. But
And others do
you know, on those
stability.
Evo 2s, okay,
Yeah.
every time you start the drone,
Yeah,
okay, the obstacle avoidance turns back on.
turns right back on.
You have to take every time
I
you take
know.
off, you have to go turn that back off.
Right.
I don't. Well, the
Right,
reason
right.
I'm holding this up here, guys, is this is actually the Nano
Johnny.
Plus. This is the Nano Plus. So
Okay.
thanks, Robbie, for pointing it out. I just got
Johnny's
it
trying to
open.
do a trade here. Johnny wants to do a trade. Johnny.
I know. I saw that.
That's not happening.
Well,
Wait.
did
Does
you
he have,
see?
He don't have the V copter. Does Johnny have the V? Johnny, you get the
No,
V copter?
he was Brian's V copter because he waited like 2
Brian, you get
years.
the V copter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I know.
waited 2 years for that
I
thing.
waited 2 years for that thing.
Yeah, I
Now,
know.
was that the V copter that was at Spin Up?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah,
but I heard
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
And that
So
was
you're the one
Ken's.
that bring up this. You're the one that bring it to Spin Up.
No,
Yeah,
that wasn't
Ken did.
mine. That was
No, that was Ken
yeah.
Harry's.
Oh, that was
yeah.
Ken.
Yeah, that was
but
Ken Harris.
But I have my own. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
he's
it.
got you. Well,
Yeah, you like it, huh?
talking about that, did you see Banggood already has knockoffs?
Yeah, well, I made a video about it.
That's right, you did.
But I can guarantee you it ain't going to be as good as the V-Copter because it's only
hey,
only $180. So
yeah, you know that the camera is going to be so soft and ugly and all that
right.
jazz.
It's yellow. You know, it's going to
Yeah, and jello and all. All right, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to switch gears again, guys. We're going to switch gears to the Hubsan product
I
line.
bet you Mark don't even have a damn Hubsan. He's got some brains. He's got that big Polish orphan, but he's got I can tell you that right now.
With the 22-inch props on it,
Right.
man.
So about 5 years back, I was selling some drones. I actually had about 20 Phantom 4s brand new in a box, and I was selling them at $750 a pop. Right? They didn't fall off the back of a truck. Anybody that's saying that right now in the live, but I still have some drones that I was selling left over. I did have a lot of like uniques. I had the unique G, the unique H, and I sold them off, whatever. But I do have about 4 Ghost E-Hang Ghost drones downstairs. Ghost drone 2s downstairs. Brand new in the box, man. They're just sitting there. For the last 5 years.
I got one just like that. I got a Femi Mini Pro down in there. I bought 2 of them. Still in the box.
I had one of them Ghost drones. I gave it away. I gave it away.
I couldn't probably even give these ones away.
I just gave it to somebody.
Well, Johnny Drones Fire had that mini, that Femi Mini. He hated that thing. He wanted to shoot it with a shotgun, I think. All right, so I'm going to corral the cats, bring you guys back into the fold here. Let's talk about this Hubsan Ace Pro Plus. Again, we're looking at a 1-inch sensor. So the 1-inch sensor is making its way into the minis now, and this also has collision detection on the front, bottom, and back. So the 1-inch sensor, here we go, guys. It's a CMOS sensor. Aperture is not as good as what we see in the Autel product line. It's a 2.8. Do you see that?
2.8.
That's because this is a Hubsan. And that's
And
well,
and
big
it
difference.
has less than half the megapixels too. 20
Yeah.
million pixels. Yeah. So we saw 50 megapixels,
Mhm.
and now we see 20 here. So it's I can't wait to see what that camera image is like, because it might work. Well, I'm going to digress a little bit, because Brian and I were having a conversation backstage. And Brian, you said that you're thinking about getting rid of everything and just going with the mini, keep all your minis, and that's all. So you want to explain why you would do that?
Because I have a feeling these drone laws are going to get. I I don't know. I just don't like what I'm seeing with these drone laws. I just don't. I think they're getting too intrusive. Where you gotta just to go fly out in your backyard, you gotta contact this and do that and report this, report that, and then they're gonna make these things you got to attach to the drone because they have to be within 15 feet and this that. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of hassle to me. You know
So
what
I agree. It looks like
I mean?
Mikey from Fly Zone Drones is going to pay everybody not to buy the Hubsan. Hey, Mike, I'll give you my PayPal account. Just drop the money in there, and I promise I won't buy it.
If you look at that Ace, okay, if you look that whole thing over, the dimensions, it is almost an identical replica of the original Mavic Air.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Almost, almost an identical replica of the original Mavic Air.
I wish I had a
But
better side
but
picture.
it does weigh. This thing weighs in over 500 grams. The Mavic Air, the original, only weighed in at like 460 grams. But this thing is over 500 grams.
I loved the body on the Mavic Air.
Yeah.
Original.
So I
thought that was the greatest thing ever. I have one downstairs myself, but it's waterlogged. I'm still trying to get the water out of it.
Okay.
All right.
Excuse me, guys. All right, so I'm going to bring back I'm going to go back into the Hubsan page here and hopefully be able to show you guys. Don't they have an Ace, and they have an Ace Pro and an Ace Plus, and then an Ace
Pro,
SE.
the regular, the Pro, and the Plus.
They have also an SE. Let me show you this.
Wow.
They have
a lot of drones.
Yeah, no,
Jeez.
they have the SE. Look, right here.
That'll
right
be
here
says, that'll be the one without all the sensors.
Let's click on it. Let's see what they have. Let's see what it is. All right. It's not even for sale yet.
Well, none of them are for sale.
Yeah. And look at the battery. Sit on top. It's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely different. So let's see how much this thing weighs. It's still 500 grams, right? Oh, no. Oh, shoot. The battery is 233 grams.
Right.
Oh, that's a biggie.
Yeah. They're like
so it's a 500 grams for this guy.
The only thing with this one is just not going to have the obstacle avoidance and all that crap. Just like the SE,
Yeah, you know what this one reminds me of? The original Air.
Yeah, the Mavic Air, the original Mavic Air.
Yeah, it reminds me of the original Mavic Air.
Yeah.
The way the legs fold and everything. You see that?
The Mavic Air legs still spun around, but still.
Yeah.
You do.
That looks just like it.
And it's got the nose of the Spark. Remember the Spark had these little wings here?
Spark was such a great drone. I love that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, agreed. Yeah.
That thing's gonna be okay if they don't. The only thing about the Hubsan and it's their quality control. They need to tighten the quality control up.
I agreed. I mean, like 1 minute it worked great, and 1 minute it doesn't.
Well, you know what? You know what you gotta do, right? This is what we do. Like everybody that wants to fly a Hubsan or a Zeno, whatever is that right? Zeno, right? Zeno, Hubsan, I don't know. Anyways, what you do is you give them a comma drone for a week.
Yeah.
And then after
I
they
got one
fly
of
that,
them too.
I know where you're headed on
after
this.
they try to fly that, they're gonna love the Hubsan. That was the worst ever. That was
Right.
the worst ever.
No,
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't agree. I love mine.
you love
I
yours?
still have mine. I still got
You-
my.
I love
have
my
the-
Xeno Pro, that black
Yeah.
Xeno Pro. I really
Hey,
like that.
the Karma will do one thing better than any drone in the world will do. It'll do
What?
one thing better.
I want to know what that is.
It'll do orbits 1 inch off the ground.
It won't
That
crash.
is true. That is true. It definitely will.
No other drone will do that.
You know it.
You know, I think they should have set. I think they should have sold it with training wheels, though. That would be like
Yeah.
amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Because then it could just like transform. When it didn't want to fly one day, you could like use it as an RC car.
Yeah.
You know that is
I
a
never had one
classic.
problem with mine. Never
I think
crashed.
I'm onto
never did
something.
anything. Mine.
You know, it's a
Oh, mine's flew into. You have no idea. It
Well,
flew into everything. That's just like
you just had a
I'm
bad
chasing
one.
it down the street. You
you
can't get
know.
two of them. You mean? Because I
You had a
yelled
bad
at them
one.
too. I yelled at them more than I yelled at DJI. And then they told me, they said, "Oh, we're gonna send you a brand new one. Just send us that one." I'm like, "All right, good, all right." And I got it, and I was
Hey, you can
chasing
buy it
down
for
the street.
$350, but this is a classic study of a company almost going bankrupt
Because
because
of
of
it.
the fact
Yeah.
they created a product line that was not in their wheelhouse, not in their niche. Even though they
Yeah.
had a camera, they had a great idea about just
It
being
was
able to
great.
take the gimbal
You
and
know,
untach it, and then you had
it was
your
the
GoPro.
first foldable drone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it was just so wacky with the flight controller
That drone could have been like amazing, like the backpack and putting it, and you could take it off and put it on a gimbal. It was perfect,
yeah.
you know. But
Yeah, but you know, it almost
But it
sunk
wasn't.
GoPro. I mean, they were so close of going bankrupt. Just so close.
yeah,
Yep.
But they saved it. They saved it.
they did
They saved
because Brian brought the.
it. And
did.
Brian,
I saved
and
it.
it does orbit really low. It skims the ground, man.
It
That's
skips the
it.
ground, man. I've orbited mine to where the legs were
That's it.
rubbing the grass.
That's like, yo. Who wouldn't want to get those dandelion beef shots? Like those
Yeah.
dandelion. That's called a B-roll shot. Like, you know, bzz, over right
Well, I
around
would
the.
think actually when I was doing that orbit all the way down to the grass,
Yeah.
I was thinking how cool a video you could make if you were like doing a shoot for a car and you could circle around the car all the way to the ground level.
Yeah. And actually,
And just keep orbiting that and just going up and doing a reveal shot of the car. I thought that, you could do something like that if you were into that.
yeah, you can find every oil leak. Yeah.
No other drone will fly that low without landing. They'll all just try to land.
Yeah.
That's the only one that won't.
So I'm trying to. Actually today too. I went out. I just took a quick flight, but over some ice, and I'm trying to get. Like I took the. No, it was a Mavic 3 actually, and I took it over ice, and I was trying to get as low as possible. A little risky.
Yeah.
But it just kept on rising up. It kept on rising up.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
That was the reflection off of the ice.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well,
Yeah, I like to get those nice low shots, though.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, all right. So, how many minis do you have, Brian? I know you have the Hubsan Zeno Mini
Right.
Pro. And
Yeah.
you still
I
have
think
the
I didn't, but I do. Right. And then I got the Mini SE. And
from Hubsan. Okay.
Yeah. I got the Mini SE. Then I got the Femi Mini. I got the Mavic Mini 2, the Mini 2 or whatever they call it. And then I got 2 Mavic Minis. So I got like 6 of those things, 6 minis.
You got 6 minis, so you got plenty in your fleet to stay afloat for a while, or should stay flying for a while.
Right.
That is fantastic. I might just follow your suit and just keep all the minis. And
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you. I just watched this one guy's video yesterday. What's that? Geeks Vana. You ever heard of him?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
he's overseas, right?
Well, the British guy.
Yeah.
Go watch his video he just put out yesterday or the day before on these FAA rules and what's really coming down the pipe. Boy, it's discouraging.
They're definitely tightening the bolts down.
It's really discouraging.
Yeah, they're definitely tightening the screws down here.
And you know how these government dudes are. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile, and they'll just keep tightening them and then tightening them. And then DJI ain't helping matters by doing the crap they're doing. They're always putting their foot in their mouth. So I'm just worried about it. That's all.
I think
I get it.
Money in politics, and Chinese got a lot of money. So
yeah.
And
DJI does for sure.
And United States could be bought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, anybody can be bought if you have enough money.
And they got it.
But there's always a bureaucrat out there that might throw a monkey wrench into it.
Yeah, just because it wants to make a name of themselves, because they need an issue to pick on.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the Hubsan product line here. They call it the FPV series section. So let me share that with you. I mean, they have a lot of products. They're very old, Brian, but they have a lot of products. Let me share with you.
The only problem is only 50% of them work. That's
all right, so the FPV section is what they're showing here. But look, they have the Ace series. They have the Xeno Mini series. They have, again, the minis.
Oh, goodness. What the heck? I've been yawning all that. I'm not bored, guys. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and the Xeno Pro here, which you just happened to fly this week, Brian. I need to fly mine, too. But look, it's all these older products. The Xeno 2 Plus is still out there.
I got to buy one of these drones just to know what it is to know.
And the Xeno 2 Plus is not a bad drone at all. And
it's
so is
horrible. Now, let me tell you about the Xeno 2, okay? If you get one, it reminds you of the Evo 2. It's a big beast. It's
heavy as hell.
But the camera has horrible lens flare. Horrible.
Wow.
The video is clear, but it has constant lens flare in the video. So you have to always be away from the sun when you're shooting video with that thing. Always.
And when it came out, this was the big deal about it. It shot 4K 60, and nobody else was shooting at 100 megabits per second.
4K 60. 4K 60 don't mean a hill of beans if there's lens flare all through the video.
Yeah. You always have.
I don't care if it's 4K 120. I could care less.
Yeah. So you were able to shoot in 4K to 30 or 60, and then 1K up.
Filters, right? It has filters.
Oh yeah. So that would help if you polarize your filters. I think that would be a big step to reducing.
Sometimes lens flare.
I like them.
Good sometimes, but but not all the time.
Not like Brian is saying, but if you're looking for the artistic kind of shot. Dramatic. It'll definitely get
I'd rather just add my own lens flare.
Use your own filters.
That's right. Let it all be done in post.
So we definitely had a good time here. I'm going to be mindful of everybody's time. We've been running for a little bit over an hour, so it's time to wrap it up. So with that said,
hopefully Brian, all 20,000 of my yawns. Like, it wasn't bored, guys. I don't know. I think I didn't have too much sleep last night. So
it's okay. You can take a nap here pretty soon, Mark.
Yeah, just go have another cold one. You'll sleep well.
Yeah, you'll sleep right through it. Don't worry about it.
There I go. I'm back out of the chat again. I just got a call and
okay. We'll wait on you. We'll wrap it up. So, Brian, anything you want to leave the
go
audience
back out
with?
real fast and come back in.
Okay, sounds
Don't
good.
buy a Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro. That's what I'm going to tell anybody. That thing is, that thing is the king of fry. You know, I was hoping Chris would be in here tonight and to see if he had gotten any word on what
on
the
his
problem,
issues.
it's not, the problem with that thing is not the cable. That is not the issue. The disconnect issue is the big problem with that thing. Okay, that's the major problem with the Mini Pro is the disconnect issue.
Yeah, and you ever notice how that the way they put that, you know, how your phone mounts into the controller, you're always hitting that cable too.
Yeah,
it pisses me off about it. Okay, so Mark, anything you want to have shameless promotions about, or anything you want to call out?
Sure. Don't subscribe to my YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't. No, just what was I gonna say?
Thanks, Jenna. Agreed. It was a good show, boys.
Thank you for having me out. I appreciate it. Fly safe and make sure you do an IMU. Make sure you do a compass calibration when you're going to do different places to fly, because those are things that help the mechanics of the drone and wherever, and they're important. That's why they're there. Make sure your battery, if you're in a colder climate, make sure your batteries are always warm, because that can throw off your IMU and all that. So just fly safe and have fun.
Well, yes, that's true. And with that said, I had a wonderful time with you guys. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate you guys' time. Great time, Brian. Great time, Mark.
thanks,
So
man.
let's do it again, man. But let's do it live. We're not too far apart from each other. You're in Rhode Island's not that far.
No.
Pittsburgh's not that far. Just,
you're in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, and you were driving over that bridge that fell right before Biden got there, right? Remember that stupid bridge?
I was actually just shooting. I was shooting like last summer in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, let's make it a point to meet up.
It always is.
Maybe we can do
beautiful city.
All right, guys. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna call it. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for
Good
tuning
night,
in.
everybody. Thanks for coming in.
Fun